What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today is November 13th and Bitcoin is sitting just below 37,700. We are seeing a little bit of resistance at this current zone, some pullbacks taking place across the market, and I think a lot of people are wondering what is going to happen next. What can we expect? Because Bitcoin has been doing extremely well and everyone's been really euphoric. And so that is why I made that tweet about how to buy crypto, because it is true that the sentiment across the market is very euphoric, or has been. But when you look at how to buy crypto search term on Google, you see that there's no major uptick, which means that if the sentiment in the market in the shorter term is euphoric, but the search terms for how to buy crypto aren't going up, what it likely means is that there is a possibility of a retest of some support levels, right? But it means that the market overall has not topped out, right? We're not overheated. We're not necessarily overextended in the long term. The hype isn't even there yet, guys, right? The search terms are showing that people are not even searching how to buy crypto right now. So from a long-term perspective, this is super bullish, right? But in terms of the shorter term sentiment, I do see the potential for maybe a retest of resistance as new support, create very constructive, very positive bullish price action, maintaining a long-term uptrend and getting really bullish moving into 2024, despite maybe a little bit of a dip beforehand. And so these are things that you should always consider: a dip, right, to retest previous resistance as new support. This is actually healthy, positive, and this would likely gather a lot of support and actually give us more momentum to be bullish moving into the new year. This is actually one of the best case scenarios, because what a lot of people that sort of don't put any thought into it would think is that if the price just goes like this, that's the best case scenario. It's really not. That's actually not, because at some point when you do reject, that consolidation takes forever. You pull back, you get that downward price action. It takes forever to recover from a massive run like that. So what you really want is actually, good pumps with moderate corrections, higher lows, previous resistance, new support, continue up, and get a nice progressive trend to build. That's actually what you want. And so one thing that I was looking at, I'm going to move over here and talk about what I notice in between each cycle, or during each cycle. What I want to show you guys now is I want to go all the way back in time to the pre-halvings of each cycle. So let's say before the second halving here. What do you notice about the price action? What is Bitcoin doing all the way up to the all-time high? Well, every time we have a huge breakout, there's usually a retest of the breakout. So right there, that was the breakout zone. What did we do? We retested that breakout zone. All right, next one, this breakout right here. What did we do there? Look, there's the breakout. Oh, look, we retested the breakout zone right there. So breakout, retest. And even up here, as you're getting closer to the all-time high, what did we do? We broke out and, you guessed it, we retested the breakout zone right there. So breakout, retest, breakout, retest, breakout, retest. And then once you get above the all-time high, that's when you kind of go up without retesting the breakouts, because things get super parabolic. But below the all-time high, guys, below the all-time high, about right here, there's a lot of retesting. Let's go to the next cycle. If you look at 2019, of course, this was pretty damn parabolic, although when you broke out above the 6K, support level, that big level that no one thought we were going to break above, that area, what did we do? We actually retested it. So there was another retest there, even though it was much larger. We ended up going lower later, right? But that was a global pandemic, something a little different there. Bitcoin breaks out, and what do? We retest again, just another retest on the breakout. And then, of course, as you get to the all-time high and you break out, things go parabolic, different. But the point is, if you look at the current zone that we're in, Bitcoin breaks out at the beginning of the year. And what does it do? It retests the breakout zone. The next breakout zone right here, what do? We retest the breakout zone. So now we're looking at this point, this resistance. Now we broke out. What are we going to do, guys? What are we going to do here? Maybe a retest. Just a guess. But I mean, this is just so common, right? It's so common. It's not a guarantee, but you can see now that I've pointed it out The retest is just something that is so common, so standard. So just keep it in mind. And this is going to be extremely beneficial for the Bitcoin trend overall because it's going to be taking place as above previous resistance, as new support, maintaining the new trend line. And this is just really healthy price action. I would actually prefer it. Again, I would like to see Bitcoin come back, retest some of these lower levels, gather support, go up for the next progressive move, gather support on previous resistance again with another retest up there, just retesting, building, constructive. That's all great stuff. So don't be the kind of person that just thinks one-dimensionally like downside is bad. It can actually be constructive and super bullish, right? Just going back to that halving over here, guys. I mean, this was such a beautiful uptrend with so many retests taking place along the way. And if you understand these types of market functions, like when the price comes back, that's the area to be entering. That's the area to be getting the positions you want, right? So if we do see a retest, this is the area to be entering, the area to be getting the positions that you want, right? So hope this all makes sense. And so one thing to look at is the RSI on the daily. This RSI uptrend is going to be a pretty big tell. You know, are we going to get this pullback or not? Well, if the price comes back to a little bit lower from where we are now, so let's just say Bitcoin's price sees a slight dip. We're actually, as I'm making this video, we're getting a little bit of a drop in the short term. But if we come back to this lower level in the short term and the RSI on the daily is hitting that support line and we keep resting on that support and then we break it, right? We break this trend line right here. We're going to see an RSI breakdown. And then the 50 level is going to be the area that you want to be taking your longs most likely, because the 50 level is seen as a critical zone on the RSI. And the 50 level is where a lot of smart money, sophisticated traders will be taking their long entries. And that could be taking place at possibly a lower level, like, you know, as low as 32 or so, before rebounding right back up and continuing the trend and getting very bullish into the new year and into the halving, creating a beautiful uptrend along the way with common retests of previous resistance as new support. These are things that you should expect and plan for. And if it does happen, hopefully you'll have some cash ready to buy the dip. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe, and join Patreon. The discount is still available, and I just posted my public portfolio, a new portfolio starting from scratch that we are going to be building into the next cycle. And the last time I did it, I started with 10K, and the portfolio went over $500,000 in the last bull market, and we're doing it again right now. So join Patreon while it's still at a discount, and I'll see you guys in the next video.